Okay, Howie Doyle, welcome to my series of interviews, and thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Happy to be here. Yeah, thanks, Todd.
Yeah, so we're going to give it a try here. We've had some technical difficulties with the internet. We're going to see if we can make this happen. But I'm so glad to be able to interview you. We met, gosh, a long time ago in Houston, I think, and I don't know if you remember, but I remember you when we were, I think it was at the Blossom Street Gallery,
hmm
opening night reception, and I remember you were showing some abstract art that I thought was just amazing. And I think it was
Cool.
a pour technique, maybe like an acrylic pour technique. Is that right?
Um, yeah, I have done some of that. So yeah,
And I had a conversation
I've
with
done
somebody.
every kinetic application of paint you can think of.
Oh, I remember talking to someone, and I don't know if it was you, but they told me that the way they got into painting was because their wife or someone needed some decoration for their wall. And so he created a painting and then just said, wow, I could keep doing this. Was that you? Or,
Not me. No,
oh, okay. Okay.
no. The way I got into it, it was just in 2004, and I was friends with Leslie Humphrey, who owns Da Vinci Gallery in Tomball. And so she did a 3-night workshop and just invited me sort of on a whim to sit in because it was for like I took that and uh, became just obsessed with painting. And at first I just painted like portraits in oil,
Yeah.
and then went to painting the figure. And then the rigor of all of that oil painting, because it's really work, painting
Yeah.
skin and humans is hard. And so I started doing like abstract expressionism to sort of loosen up and keep it fresh and interesting. So that's how I got into like the two sides of the types of subjects that I paint.
Yeah. I remember your figurative paintings are really great. I've always wanted to get into that, but I haven't really done so. I think figure paintings are really appreciated in the market. People like those kind of paintings. Um, and so now you're doing skateboards. We can see some skateboards behind you.
Yeah. Well, back when I was a teenager, I was heavily into skateboarding. My whole life, I've identified as a skater, even though, I haven't skated in all of the years since then. But about 2 years ago, I went to a Kazimierski skate park in Conroe and just was amazed at how cool the place looked. And so I got back into skating at that time. And I pretty much skate every day and have been for the last 2 years. I really love it. It's a great way to,
Good way to
stay
stay
in
in shape.
shape
Yeah.
and stay mentally on keel, because you get out there and you work hard first thing in the morning. It just sort of sets the tone for the rest of the day,
So you do it every day.
pretty much.
I want to show you something. So I used to skateboard when I was a kid too, but
hmm
I bought this. I don't know if you recognize
Oh
what
yeah.
kind of board it is.
Nice.
I know they come in different kinds, and the brand is Z Flex. Have you ever heard of them?
Z-Flex. Yeah. 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 So Z-Flex was part of those guys were the original Dogtown skate crew, and later it was Dogtown Skateboards and then Tony Alba. But that whole scene was like what I was just totally into back in the late 70s. I thought I was like a Houston transplant of all those badass skaters out here. It
Yeah,
wasn't really, but that was
yeah.
the sort of mental image that we carried around.
Well, I've seen your videos that you post when you're skating. I'd say you're pretty good, uh, especially for being about my age, or I don't know if you're older or younger, but I
Yeah, I
know
think I got a few years on you.
I tried to skateboard on this, and I about fell on my butt a few times. But I've been trying to get my kids to skateboard, and they won't do it. So if you were local, I'd probably just give you the skateboard so somebody would use it. But so I'm curious anyway about the skateboard. Like how long? So gosh, you've knocked out a bunch of them, and what's your process for doing that? What kind of paint do you use?
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of different things. It's been a lot of, I've always been very, I enjoy experimenting when I paint. So I've been using spray paint, like taping and using stencils and that type of thing.
Uh,
And then I've been doing, just some really loose abstract type work. And I've been doing, I've even done a few subjects like sea creatures, like a piranha fish on one, an octopus on another, and just the types of subjects that I enjoy painting. I just put them on decks, skateboard decks,
and they're all
and
unique, one of a kind.
it's just novel for me. It's a new thing to do, and I set up an Etsy shop to sell skateboard decks,
How's
and
that
been
going?
having a lot of
It's
fun with it.
pretty popular.
Yeah, I've sold in all about half a dozen, and
Oh,
I've
wow.
only been doing it for the last 3 weeks or so.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, check it out. It's on Etsy. The name of the store is Tusk Skateboard Arts, and I chose Tusk like an elephant, sort of like my skate brand,
Yeah.
although it's not really a registered brand or anything at this point. But I just think elephants are cool, so
Yeah.
that's my symbol for the
Oh, I see it.
skateboard deck.
I see that brand name on the skateboard
Yeah.
behind you. It says Tusk.
Hmm.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, that's great. So I don't even know, is art your career, or is it something like, for me, art is a hobby. I'm
Hmm.
very passionate about it. I'd love to ramp it up and be more professional. I'd love for it to be the main source of income for my family, but I don't I probably couldn't do that. Um, how serious is your art for you?
Yeah, it's really. I found that it was really hard to make a living as a painter.
Yeah.
I did try it for a while, and I've painted steadily through the years, but generally I would have a day job, and then
Mm,
I do that for fun. During the COVID times here, I'm not steadily employed like I was, and hopefully that'll get back to
yeah.
normal sometime soon. But
Yeah.
until
Hopefully.
then, I'm finding odd jobs to do and then creating a lot of art. And I actually just with a friend of mine created an Etsy page for figurative art. So we're
Oh.
going to give that a try and see how that goes. So that one's called Nude Art Decor is the
Cool.
name of that Etsy shop. But just getting started on that one.
Yeah, I've been on
But
a
nobody's showing now, so there's got to be some way to sell art. And I guess Etsy is just something I want to try, see how that goes.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've always seen Etsy as sort of crafty place, but I don't know. I mean, I've heard people having success there. Um, yeah, and I've been talking to some other artists recently, and they, of course, the younger ones always say, besides Instagram, you've got to be on TikTok, right?
Yeah,
And,
no,
and some,
not
and,
me.
yeah, I know. It's for the younger generation, but some artists say they have wild success on TikTok, and
Really?
I guess it's because, and my daughters, I've got older daughters that use it, and they say that
Hmm.
it's partly because the algorithm allows your video to, like, you might, somebody might be watching a video that's got a million views and from somebody that's really viral or a star, and then right after that they'll see yours. Like, it's not like YouTube. You'll never get exposure
Right.
until you get 1,000 subscribers or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. So, um, but yeah, I don't know how to do the TikTok thing.
yeah. Are you suggesting that I get like study up on my TikTok skills?
I don't I don't know. I've tried it. I've posted 3, and my first one got 50 views and the second one got 170, but, you know, I mean,
Well,
if they're
it's
all,
progression.
teenagers that aren't buying art, whatever. But so this is cool. I love your figurative art. Do you have any paintings to show us right now, or if you don't, I can send me a JPEG and I'll put it in the video.
I do have some nearby here. Let's see. But yeah, that might be a good way to go. This is one that I'm about to list on Etsy that I did, I think last year. So it's obviously I'm playing with the color here, but just sort of using the skills I learned in painting flesh and then shifting the colors to make it expressive. And then
Yeah,
I'm going to jump
excellent.
off camera real quick here and grab another one.
Yeah, for sure.
These just happen to be the two that are in the room with me, but I don't know if we got a good shot of that.
I think I've seen similar to that before. I don't know if I've seen that exact one, but
Yeah.
yeah, really great stuff.
Yeah. So thanks.
Really amazing.
But yeah, and then I've done a lot of large abstract pieces, and
Hmm.
I'm not doing the large work now because there's nowhere to show really. And
Right.
if you can't, those things fill up an apartment really fast if you don't
Oh
sell
yeah.
them. So
Yeah.
so
So
I've been doing works on paper and smaller works on canvas mainly the last couple of years.
yeah. Yeah. Plus the cost of canvas and yeah, storing canvas and do you ever use oil paints or is it
Hmm.
typically acrylics? You're sort of all over.
Yeah. No, I started out in oils, and I do still like the two paintings I just showed you. Those were
Those,
both. No, the second one was oils. The first one was acrylics, but I do paint in oils regularly, and probably more often in acrylics
mhm.
lately. But yeah, I switch back and forth.
Yeah. And what's your process like? Are you disciplined? Are you someone that says like I'm going to paint every morning between 6 and 8 or anything like that, or is it just when you see fit, like when you feel like it?
Yeah, yeah. One thing I'm not good at is imposing structure on myself.
Yeah.
So that's been the good thing about getting up and skating first thing in the morning is that it starts my day out with action, and then everything else just sort of seems to fall into place after that. But I go skate, and then I come home and I work on art and my Etsy stuff, and I don't really have a routine other than I do all of that stuff every day pretty much.
Do you have a goal with your art, or is it just continue to pursue the passion? I mean, some artists have
Yeah,
particular goals.
right. I've never been a quote serious artist, because for me it has to be fun or I don't want to do it. I do have things that I like to express in art, and but as far as a goal, not really. I've had a couple of museum showings, which was nice, and I never expected that to happen. I've, you know, I have paintings in many, many people's homes, and they love them, and that brings me a lot of satisfaction. So that's what I'm in it for, really. It's just the opportunity to create and express and have joy in that process. And
Yeah.
then, as the people you meet in the
Yep.
art world are great, and the clients are also great. And the fact that they're willing to pay money to have your work in their home is very gratifying. So,
Yeah.
that's what I'm in it for. I don't have any grand goals with it.
And you're a musician as well. I've seen you play guitar and sing.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
how
I've
how
done quite a
important
bit of that.
is that something you pursue actively or?
Yeah, I don't do it as often as I used to, but there have been times when music was really my lifeline. It was the thing that kept me going and brought me joy and hope in times when otherwise I might not have been able to keep moving forward. So it's really important to me. And the I was a musician well before I was a painter, and so 20 years ago I was going through some hard times in life, and turned really hard toward music to help me process those things that I was going through. And in the process of that, I learned how to sort of connect my intensity of emotion with my creative output. And man, when you can hook those two things together, that's a really powerful force.
Yeah.
So I would say most of the passionate painting I do is abstract, but in music, it's about the passions, and
Yeah.
uh, so it's just a lot of fun.
I
I love playing in a band. It's a great experience.
I wish I could do that. I am not musical at all, but I love to listen to music, but I'm not musical. um, well, this is cool. So I also wanted to mention, back when we met at the Blossom Street Gallery, I'll say that you were one of the handful of artists, half a dozen, that really inspired me to keep going because when I saw the art that was there and I started talking to you guys and like you said, networking, meeting some of the local artists, and I just thought, oh wow, this is such a cool group and a
Oh, that's awesome.
cool hobby or whatever it was, something to pursue. And I didn't have any confidence at that point that I could do something like that. But then after I started talking to you guys, I was like, wow, yeah, maybe I could. Um, maybe there's a way forward to create. So I appreciate that.
Well, yeah, I didn't realize that was the case, but I mean, your work is fantastic. I'm a big fan of yours.
Oh, thanks.
So it's nice to know that I inspired you
Yeah.
and help keep you in the game.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, so I've got to end the video at this point, but thank you very much. And let's stay in touch and stay safe during the pandemic, and hope everything goes well for you in the coming year.
All right, Todd, I really appreciate it, and have a good day.
All right. Thanks, Howie.
Bye.